I think it's important to, before we move on, to see how the Contax 2 and 3 came about, because back in the day there was not a lot of competition for Contax. The only real manufacturer with a big part in the market was Leica.
Leica, of course.
Leica.
Well, there were some brands in the States like Kodak and Argus. And
they already made 135.
35 millimeter, yes, but not as early as in 1932 or 34.
Okay, so before
before the Second World War, there was quite a variety in miniature cameras.
I think it's safe to say that before 1932, the only manufacturer for 35mm.
That was Leica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Carl Zeiss of Zeiss Icon, as a manufacturer, started considering what can we do to beat this. And they came up, and now I need to have my glasses because they came up with 11 improvement points. 11. So that would suggest that this is bad.
Shall I point them and you read them?
Yeah, okay. Here we go. Compared to the Leica, and then I take a Contax, okay?
Go ahead, pick one.
Yeah, pick one. I can't choose!
That's too much!
Okay, compared to the Leica, the Contax inherited from Zeiss Icon the wide range finder base of 9 centimeters. And if you compare, this is 3.75, and this is actually, don't fall asleep, this is actually 9 centimeters. So, why is that important?
Well, to use wide lenses, you need a very high quality in your range finding.
Yeah, and you can use wider lenses, like you don't mean like wide angle, but like more light sensitive.
More
yeah.
More
oh, and more tele lenses.
Yeah.
So
because they had, of course, a beautiful 180 millimeter.
Yeah, but that one came about in 1936.
Oh, never mind.
That was, and that's the
it was already on the drawing board.
Okay.
I'm sure of it.
Most probably it was. They had a removable camera back for easy film loading. Well, easy. Easier because
yes. There's no
that
film
one.
in it, right?
No, there is no film in. No.
No, there's.
This is mine. Actually, is it mine? This is the collapsible, right? No, this is not the collapsible. Oh, there's film in it. Yeah, well,
there is.
There is.
Oh, okay.
Where's mine? Oh, here we are.
Pick another one.
Ah.
I knew which one of them was film.
Yeah, that one.
This one too. Okay.
Okay, so
nice.
No messing around. Oh, there was film in this one too. Okay. So.
Well, that went well.
Yeah. Going to remove it. Okay. No, that was only like 5 exposures or something. Yeah. And if you open that one up.
Oh dear.
Oh, this is nice because.
There you go already.
Okay, now good luck loading that one.
Oh,
no, never mind. Okay, Leica did have some reason why they did it like this. You know, you have to put, because they didn't believe in the fact that if you make a camera back hinge, that the form was stable enough to have their high quality manufacturing methods. So they were a bit afraid that they couldn't produce the sharpest images possible because of maybe some slack in the back.
Movement in
But
the back, yeah.
well, they've been proven wrong, but they still don't do it because if you take the Leica MA for instance, 2023
same.
model, still the same.
Yep.
It's a round body with only a tiny little hatch, and it's still a pain to load the camera. Oh yeah. They came up with a double bayonet for easy mounting of the film. And, well, here we go. Get it off! Okay, this takes forever. Okay.
It takes two.
1, 2, 3.
Damn.
Wow.
Ha.
That was quick. I was almost falling asleep. A double bayonet, and now it's getting interesting because the double bayonet, I don't think was ever seen before Contax
And
arrived.
after.
And after. Oh, that's not true.
Oh. Enlighten me.
In the 1990s, I think it was like 93. Sigma came up with the SA300 autofocus single lens reflex camera with a double bayonet, an outer and an inner.
Wow.
And the promise was, and it never came true, but the promise was that they made very special lenses, like for instance that would hold on the outer bayonet so that it had an extra low f-stop.
Aha.
But it never came to
But it didn't
fruition.
work.
No, yeah, well, I think
In the end.
I think the sales of that camera were a bit disappointing, to be honest. It was a nice camera, but a camera made by a lens manufacturer, I think, that's not a very good idea. Normally, it isn't. Wider lens mount to mount more light-sensitive lenses. Well, that one is obvious, I think, because M39 is relatively small, and if you look at how big this mount is, and they've proven right, because when the 180, no, it's not very much difference, but when the 180 came in the market around 1936 with the Olympic Games in Germany. They produced a 182.8. It's a funny lens. It's called the Olympia. If you want to buy one, you can. There are two versions. One with a mount directly on the Contax, and one with a mount with some sort of mirror housing. Leica calls it a Visoflex. I don't know what the name is for Contax, but. The one with the Contax mount is quite rare, and a couple of months ago there was one on eBay for sale for.
My, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
8,500.
No, $40,000 like dollars. Was it? Oh no, eight.
About nine.
Eight or $9,000 US. But it's highly chromed.
I almost said buy now.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous lens.
I was so close.
Yeah. Shutter speed selection from 1/2 second to up to, and that was the masterpiece from Zeicicon for the Contax, because the highest shutter speed was 1/1250th
of a second.
That's crazy fast.
Of course, it was also a bit marketing. I mean, 1250th compared to 1,000.
That's a quarter.
It's almost nothing.
It's almost nothing, yeah.
But the Leicas, of course, they had a 500th.
Yeah,
And that was
yeah, absolutely
quite
true.
different.
Next one, coupled rangefinder, which means that the rangefinder patch is actually enclosed in the viewfinder. And that is my biggest failure from every Barnack camera of Leica, that they have two
They had
eyepieces.
two, one viewfinder and one rangefinder. Why? Why?
I don't know.
They could build it, so why Leica didn't?
And it took them quite a while before they did, because only after the war, 1954, the M3 came.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I have to defend Leica a bit, because they just before the war broke out, they had a prototype of an M3 looking camera with a coupled rangefinder in it, even a bayonet. And I've seen pictures of it. But that camera was put on hold because of the war broke out in September 1939. So that was it. So and they never recovered quick enough. But even so, 1939, 1932, they had quite some years to improve upon their own cameras, but they never did.
No.
Just after the war. Coupled rangefinder. No turning shutter speed dial. Now, I think this is a biggie.
Yeah, how do we show it?
As soon as you cock the shutter, your shutter speed dial moves like this. And as soon as you release the shutter, it moves again. So, two problems. One, if you are unlucky enough that you break, and that it will not go. And there is another thing. You can't select the shutter speed with the shutter released. You don't know which shutter speed you're selecting, because it's not lined up on the body.
Yeah.
So with this shutter speed selection with either cocked or released shutter, and that's what Contax did. It doesn't matter if you turn the shutter speed like this or like this, because you always are in total control where your shutter speeds are. Oh yeah, that's also a nice one. No split shutter speed dial.
Yeah.
Slow speeds in the front, high speeds
And
in the
high
back.
speed
On top.
on top. Very uncomfortable. Why? I mean, come on. Okay, you don't use these very often,
No.
but still.
And
Put them in one dial and it's all clear.
and you got two 1/30ths of a second, because you got one here and you got one here. Okay.
Take your pick.
Oh yeah, that's also a biggie. A metal shutter. Contax released the one with their fully metal shutter,
Yep.
and I've got here an example, and you can see these are actually linked brass shutter leaves, and it's quite hefty. You can touch it, no problem. You won't break it. But more important is you won't burn holes in it if your camera is on infinity and you point it at the sun.
Yep. And something like this won't happen with that one too, because, well, this is all wrinkled up. You can't see it right now, I guess. But
yeah, the first shutter curtain is totally dried up and it's
totally
completely ruined. So you can't take pictures with it. With the lens.
not nice ones.
No. Well, the last one, number 11, is not so important, but it's nice because with the Leica you have a horizontally traveling shutter, and with the Contax you got vertically traveling shutter, which makes the high speeds more accessible for the Contax than for the Leica.
No.
Okay.
But to defend Leica a little bit,
Yeah.
the Leica 3 had a 1/500th of a second with
Yeah.
higher speed. The Leica 3A had it improved to 1,000.
To 1,000th of a second.
So,
They also made the shutter travel a little bit higher, from 1/25 of a second to 1/30, if I'm not mistaken, to make that 1,000th of a second happening. And with that, one of the charms of Leica went through the window, because the 25th of a second shutter speed makes it almost noiseless. And with a bit tauter shutter, you can hear a slightly more aggressive click, slightly more.
Yeah. Well, it's
Now-
very silent. So. Still is.
Yeah, it's still quite. You know, this is also not very
Yeah.
noisy.
Okay, now I get you out of view again.